Everybody, how's it going out there? Welcome to Movies and Music with AJ. My name's AJ. Thanks for watching. And we are back, finally. And I say that because not only has it been a minute since I reacted to Grateful Dead, I actually reacted to Workingman's Dead last year. It was my first experience listening to any of their music at all, and I highly enjoyed it. But I also say finally I'm back because I've been on sort of a hiatus from this channel for a couple months. I was just at the end of last year just starting to feel really burned out and just felt like I needed to reprioritize and kind of rebalance my personal life and my work life and my YouTube life. And I was like, you know what, I just need to take a step back for a second. But now I'm ready, I'm back. And you know, part of the reason I'm back and that I want to come back with this reaction is, like sometimes you just get like a sign from the universe, right? I was recently at a bar. It was like an outdoor music venue bar type of situation. I was there to watch a friend perform, and as they were setting up to go on, over the PA, I hear Casey Jones by the Grateful Dead. As soon as I heard that song, I was just reminded how much I love that album and what a fun reaction that was. And yeah, that song in particular, Casey Jones, so infectious. The lyrics, the music itself, it's just such a earworm, catchy song. But yeah, it just reminded me, you know what? It's time to get back with some Grateful Dead, and it's time to do that on this channel. So yeah, like I said, I listened to Workingman's Dead last year. I really enjoyed the song Casey Jones, but I think for sure my favorite song on that album was Easy Wind. But every song on there was just so great. I was just really surprised with sort of the diversity of sound. From song to song, you would get, a country number, a blues number, a ballad, folk. It was just kind of all over the place, but it all still felt very cohesive, and it made a lot of sense. And just overall was just a really great listening experience. So I'm ready to dive in for some more, and I wanted to go with American Beauty because I've been advised that it's pretty similar in style and vibe as Workingman's Dead. And I know that this band, they're known for like their long jams and their more psychedelic side. But I do want to explore that side of them eventually. I have a couple of studio albums in mind, definitely their live material as well. But for now, I just kind of want to ease my way into that. And I felt like listening to American Beauty after Workingman's Dead just made the most sense in terms of like a progression. But yeah, definitely we are going to be exploring all sides of this band at some point on this channel. But yeah, for now, we are listening to American Beauty, and I am excited to do that. So let's go ahead and do that. Without further ado, this is going to be my reaction to the Grateful Dead with their 1970 album, American Beauty. Let's go. Okay. Starting with a very similar vibe as Workingman's Dead, that country folk Americana vibe.
Look out of any window, any morning, any evening, any day.
There's those harmonies again. That was something I really dug about that last album.
What do you want me to do for you, to see you through?
This song has definitely more of like, there's a little bit of melancholy to this song, even though it is like sort of a folksy kind of upbeat number. There's definitely like a mournful quality to it.
Maybe you'll find direction around some corner where it's been waiting to meet you.
Maybe you'll find direction around some corner where it's been waiting to meet you. That's interesting. I don't find that direction like in life, if that's what they mean, is the kind of thing where it just finds you. I feel like a lot of time you really have to like search for it, but everyone's experience is different. Yeah, that guitar solo is hard panned all the way to the left channel. It's hit or miss in terms of panning. I don't always like it. Like, I'm a huge fan of the Beatles, but I just feel like the panning on a lot of their stereo stuff, it can just be a little jarring. Same with like jazz. I listen to a lot of jazz, and like panning in jazz, like I'd rather listen to the mono version because like it's just kind of jarring to have like the drums entirely on one side.
Maybe been seen before through other eyes on other days while
Oh, I like that.
home.
Yeah, another vocalist came in there for some support there. Yeah, the vocal harmonies is like one of my favorite things of this band.
One afternoon long ago.
It's all a dream we dreamed one afternoon long ago. Yeah, there's, again, this adds to like the bittersweet, mournful quality of this song.
Inch your way through dead dreams to another land.
Inch your way through dead dreams to another land. My first take away from this is that this song is about mortality or confronting mortality.
Just a box of rain.
That's such an evocative image, a box of rain. My first thought, if this is about mortality, a box of rain is maybe referring to a coffin. You know, you're put into a box. A rain is always used as a metaphor or imagery for sadness or for mourning. Maybe it's like a box of rain is the tears. It's a good start. I like that. A little bit more, like I said, more mournful, a little more melancholy than I was expecting from this band, though, based on that other album. Friend of the Devil. That's the kind of title that could be very country or very heavy metal.
Set out one, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine.
A friend of the devil is a friend of mine.
Light just might get some
That's
sleep.
fun. Yeah, this is a different vibe than the first song.
I ran down to the levee, but the devil caught me there
Yeah, I just want to dance to this one.
in the air.
This would be a fun live song.
I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
Oh, I like that.
The first one's named Sweet Anne Marie, and she's my heart's delight.
This one's got some twang on it.
First one says she got my child, but it don't look like
Okay. It's just funny, like the contrast between how sort of dark and hard the lyrics are versus like just how like wholesome and mellow and like catchy the music itself is. That is one thing I like about country music, where you just get some really like upbeat, like kind of really dancey numbers, and then the lyrics are about like shooting a guy or having, you know, multiple wives, and it's like, whoa, okay.
I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I enjoyed that one. Sugar Magnolia.
Sugar magnolia, blossoms blooming, that's all empty and I don't
Yeah.
care. So my baby down by the river, knew she'd have to come up soon for air.
So far, this one's the most reminiscent of Workingman's Dead for me. I will say, though, the production on this album just sounds a lot cleaner and clearer. Like, this kind of almost just sounds and feels like a big budget version of Workingman's Dead.
Pays my ticket when I speak.
Pays my ticket when I speed. Better watch that speed.
But she can dance a Cajun rhythm.
Somebody's got a little shaker there.
Caught up in sunlight. Going out singing or walking in the sunshine. Come on, honey, come along with me.
I'm enjoying the drumming in this. It's just like keeping a good beat, but every now and then it gets just nice little fun little fills. That just nice, throwing a little drum roll in there every now and then.
The sunshine gave you.
This is a very peaceful song, though. Yeah, this one did seem to have the drums panned all the way to the left, which usually bothers me, but I didn't mind it so much in this song. Operator. I like how this one's starting.
Operator, can you help me? Help me if you please. Give me the right area code and the number.
I'm liking the little story that's being told here. Just trying to recall someone's number. I haven't been in this situation, I don't think, but what it reminds me of is like back in the day before things like Shazam, Siri, and Google auto assistants, hearing a song just out in public and not knowing what song it is, and like being like, and you're trying to remember lyrics so like you can search later.
I don't know where she's going, I don't care where she's been, long as she's been doing it right.
That's a good line. It's a nice little harmonica bit there. Now we are into track 5, Candyman. I won't say this title 3 times. Although if I know my classic rock, and I dabble a little bit, I'm gonna guess that this is a euphemism for a drug dealer. That's gonna be my guess.
Come on, pretty women, with your
Or maybe not.
open up your window.
Oh, okay.
man's in town.
A different kind of sweetness.
Pretty lady ain't got no friend till the candy man comes around the gate.
Pretty lady ain't got no friend till the Candyman comes around. I think I know where this is going, but
When I get back to Memphis, be one less man alive.
when I get back to Memphis, be one less man alive.
If I had me a shotgun, I'd blow you straight to hell.
This is something that's really, to me, a pleasant surprise about this band, is I kind of always, what very little I knew about this band, I associated them with the hippie movement, peace and love. But nah, man, like, Workingman's dead. Like, there was a lot of just badassery on display on that album. And now here, you know, just a lot of these songs that are these, like, outlaw songs. If I had a shotgun, I'd blow you to hell. You know, like, that's not a line I would have predicted from a band like this based on just what my assumptions were going in. Yeah, okay, so where I thought this song was going was that it's just about being a touring musician coming into town and... Sorry, I don't want to talk over this solo too much. Is that pedal steel again? Just the tone is a little different. Can't quite tell. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, but no, like I was saying, I was thinking this was just about like being a guy who comes through town every now and then and causes some trouble. But then he's talking about one less man alive. Trouble would be an understatement.
If you got $1, boys, lay it on the line.
That organ.
Pass the whiskey around.
But now we have track 7, and that is Ripple. I would say so far this feels a lot more mellow and laid back than Workingman. Because Workingman had some like really hard bluesy numbers and it had easy wind, but nothing so far that is in that vibe. At least not to my ears.
Would you hear my voice come through the music?
Interesting. It's a bit of a meta sort of verse there. The thoughts are broken. Better left unsung. I'm liking this thing. Is that a mandolin? Or a banjo? I made the mistake of not looking up the personnel before listening to this.
That was not made by the hands of men.
That's interesting imagery. Let it be known there's a fountain that was not made by the hands of men. There it is again. I'm pretty sure that's a mandolin. It's an underrated instrument.
To lead must follow. But if you fall alone.
Interesting.
If I knew the way, I would take you home.
It's a nice sentiment. Oh, wow. That's a whole vocal chorus. I love it. Especially the way it's coming through in the mix. It's just like all over. Yeah, that sounds big. I feel like I'm in the room, you know? Brokedown Palace. Isn't that the name of a movie? I feel like there was a movie from the 90s called Brokedown Palace. Yeah, that was a smooth, clean transition. I almost didn't realize we were on to the next song. I like this song just has like, I just love the way this song moves, if that makes sense. Little piano flourishes. See, I'm not a musician, so I don't always have the right like vocabulary for describing the things I'm hearing. So I just end up making my own vocabulary. But this style of piano, when you hear this type of piano in a song, it's just like, I kind of call it just like the wandering piano, where it just very like nonchalantly every now and then you just get a little flourish, and it seems to be just kind of meandering and wandering and coming in and out, and it's like not central to the song, but it's adding so much just character.
Going home by the waterside, I will rest my bones. Listen to the river sing sweet songs to rock my soul.
There is something really soothing and therapeutic about water, right? Just being near water, the sound of it. Like, I just love being on the beach and just like watching the waves come in and out.
Lovers come and go, the river roll, roll, roll. Fare you well.
Yeah, I just love the piano in this song.
And words can tell. Listen to the river sing.
Because like the song on it by itself is a great song. If it didn't have the piano in it, it'd still be a really strong song. But that piano is just adding that little extra, it's just putting that little cherry on top, you know? Again with the harmonies. Whew. That might be my favorite track so far on this album. Brokedown Palace. That one came in with some energy. You know, we were due for an upbeat number.
It'll do you fine till the morning comes. Highway sign.
I will say that's something that this album is missing for me so far. A little bit more electric guitar, a little bit more attitude, a little bit more soloing. I feel bad because the ones like really big solo that happened so far, I talked through most of it. I think that was on Box of Rain, maybe. I need to not talk through guitar solos.
Do we all fall down? It'll do you.
Yeah, that little riff. I just want more of that. I want it to really just launch into it.
Let your tracks be lost in the dark and snow. Tell you what I do when the cold winds blow. It'll ease your mind.
It's interesting lyrics. When the shadow grows, it'll do you fine. When the cold wind blows, it'll ease your mind. The shape it takes could be yours. I'm guessing the it is the shadow, but what does the shadow signify in this context?
Make yourself easy. You're my woman. Make yourself easy.
Is that a triangle? There's like a
Make yourself easy.
or a bell? It's like really high-pitched percussive element there. It's adding a nice little bit of flavor to the proceedings.
In the attics of my life,
This is a very different vibe. This almost sounds like a little bit Beach Boys.
full of taste.
Like something that would have been on Smiley Smile. It's like almost sort of gospel vibe to it.
Have spent my life seeking
Yeah, there's a very confessional vibe to this song, very like spiritual vibe to it.
and closed my eyes to see. In the book of love's own dream,
That's nice. I like the way that hit.
where all the print is blood.
I love in a song like this where basically the whole thing is just being harmonized. The way it's mixed, just like trying to like just focus on one of the singers, really picking out the little intricacies of each vocal performance.
In the secret space of dreams,
How many people are singing on this song at once? I think I hear at least 3 different voices singing.
When there was no dream.
That's nice. That was interesting. That had like a very sort of spiritual or gospel vibe to it. Okay. Final track, Truckin. Keep on trucking. Okay. See, now we're getting bluesy. I feel like there was a couple more blues numbers on Workingman's Dead. I feel like this is the first like proper bluesy number so far on this album.
Oh, let's light, just keep trucking on.
Is this where that expression came from? I just said it jokingly at the beginning of the song, keep on trucking. Because, you know, just heard that expression my whole life. Seen it on bumper stickers. But is this where it came from?
Chicago, New York, Detroit, and it's all the same street.
Ooh, I like that.
A typical city involved in a typical daydream.
Ooh.
Hang it up and see what tomorrow brings.
Oh, such a good vocal performance. I really dug that.
Got a soft machine in Houston, too close to New Orleans.
Houston too close to New Orleans. Isn't Dallas technically closer to New Orleans though?
Most of the cats that you meet on the street speak of true love.
Ooh.
Most of the time they're sitting and crying at home.
That's pretty good.
One of these days they know they gotta get going. Out of the door and down to the street all alone.
I really love those verses. Those are so good.
Sometimes the light's all shining on me.
Ooh. That was heavy. Boom, boom. Yeah, I like that.
What a long, strange trip it's been.
Okay, if I have to guess, I bet this is one that plays really well live.
Living on reds, vitamin C, and cocaine.
Ooh, that's a diet.
All a friend can say is ain't it a shame? I'd like to get some sleep before I travel. But if you got a warrant, I guess you're gonna come in.
You got a warrant, I guess you can come in.
You're sick of hanging around and you like to travel. Get tired of traveling, you wanna settle down. I guess I can't revoke your soul for trying. Get out of the door, light out and look all around.
Nice, that dong, 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 dong.
Lately it occurs to me. What a long, strange trip it's been.
Love it. The guitar's going off. The organ's going off. Oh, no, they're going to fade it out now. I see. Yeah, this is why I think that this song probably plays really well live. Because they just faded right at the moment where I thought, like, they just could potentially have gone really big. Like, the organ could have gone big. The guitar was starting to solo. They could have just soloed over each other and just, like, really gone for it. But they decided to fade it out. I bet live, I bet that's the part where they just launch into something. But yeah, I mean, studio albums, live performances, 2 totally different beasts. It does remind me of, you know, one of my favorite bands is the Mars Volta. And they had a knack for really, like, especially their first album, De Lost in the Comatorium. There were songs on there that are like 5 or 6 minutes. That was usually the standard. But then they'd play that song live and it'd be like 15, 20 minutes, you know? And they built into the songwriting moments where it makes sense to throw a jam in there. And I feel like I kind of got that vibe from this album. Like, some of these songs felt like they needed a jam in them in that moment, but I bet they were just written that way to allow for that to happen live. I wonder if it was looked at this way, and let me know if you were around for this era. Did bands make, like, almost consider like this, something like this, almost the preview or like the sampler, or the, you know, the appetizer for, like, okay, if you like these songs as this version on this album, wait till you come and see it when it's like 3 times as long, you know? I'm wondering if, like, that's how they treated this, as like the sampler, you know, just a taste of what you would get live. No, but that was a really strong album. I will say though, just first impressions, I think I enjoyed Workingman's Dead better. I feel like it left more of an impact on me, and maybe it's just because it was my first experience, but I will say there was never quite a song that was as impactful to me as Easy Wind. Even the song Truckin', like, I think this Truckin' might be my favorite song on this album. I don't know, it's a toss-up between Brokedown Palace and Truckin', but Truckin' also kind of in the same way that, like, Casey Jones was just a really strong closer for Workingman. Truckin' was just a really strong closer for American Beauty. They I guess they really do have a knack for, like, knowing how to close the show. I will say the thing that I like more about this album, as opposed to Workingman, this album felt more arranged in terms of the flow and the order, the pacing of this album. I never quite said it, because I was always just engrossed in the music, but halfway into the album, I just was realizing how well paced and how everything flowed so well from one song to the next in terms of the transition between songs, but also just like the vibe of each song. Whereas Workingman's Dead, kind of at times, as much as I thought those were each individually great songs, it felt a little bit more of a compilation. It didn't feel like necessarily the same cohesive kind of journey that I feel like this album was. That song was like a collection of songs, whereas this was an album proper. But I will say that collection of songs from Workingman I thought was overall stronger. I really enjoyed a lot of those songs on first listen more than a lot of these songs. Now, granted, that might change on subsequent listens, but I will say, songs that left an impression right off the bat, Box of Rain, I really felt like that was, like I said, it had this really mournful, melancholy vibe to it. I wasn't expecting for this band, but then I also thought that was a really bold choice for a way to open up the album. Sugar Magnolia, that was a good, fun song. Ripple, I will say it was pretty interesting, but overall I think like Brokedown Palace and Truckin' were the two songs those are the ones, like, if I'm not going to sit down and listen to the whole album, those two songs I'm for sure going to revisit just on their own. But yeah, overall pretty interesting, especially lyrically. I feel like at least one or two of these songs, if not more, were dealing with mortality and death. And, a lot of these songs are written in such a way that they're not just coming out and like hitting you over the head with whatever the theme or message is supposed to be. So you do have to do some sort of kind of digging and some really thinking about what you're hearing. But if my takeaway is correct, it does feel like some of these songs were about death and facing mortality. But then we also had a couple of songs like Candyman and Truckin' that seemed to be more like road songs about life on the road, coming through towns, causing trouble. So it was a good mix. Like, I feel like these are very classic kind of things to talk about in this era. But yeah, overall, I can see why people say that this is almost like you should listen to this album with Workingman, because they did feel very similar in a lot of ways. But that said, I am looking forward to diving even deeper into the music of this band, some of the more psychedelic studio material, and then obviously the live stuff as well. So it's going to be coming. We're going to be, we're on this journey. There's no rush. Maybe every couple months I'll come back with another reaction. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to be on this journey. So yeah, let me know what you think about this album. Which do you prefer over this one or Workingman's Dead? What do you think about this era in general? What is your favorite era of this band's music? So yeah, let me know in the comments. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up and call it a day for today. What a fun album. So yeah, if you want to follow along with more of my reactions, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notification. Did I just say notification? Notifications, plural. More than one video is coming, hopefully. Yeah, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. Signing out for today. This has been Movies and Music with AJ. My name's AJ. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.